So my 17U year, I elect to go back to the Eagles, and we make it to the Peach Jam, and in the Peach Jam I had 2 buzzer beaters. So
hey, the one still on YouTube, that half court one.
Yeah, exactly. So versus Team Penny. Yeah, so we beat Mocan and then Team Penny basically back-to-back nights. So that was, it was like back-to-back buzzer beaters into it. So.
No, I ain't playing with them. No, I ain't playing with them. I ain't playing with them. No, I ain't playing with them. All of my chains got bands in them. I knock them out of my hands in them. No, I ain't playing with them. No, I ain't playing with them. Yeah. These niggas know I ain't playing with them. No, I ain't playing.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Back for another episode of No Cap Sports Talk. And we here today with my man, Razzle Dazzle, Chaz Glotta, baby. Finally got him in the house. What's up,
What's
CG?
going on? What's going
my
on?
My man, how you
Yes,
doing,
sir.
boy?
I'm great. I'm good.
And tonight we got another guest star, Coach King Rue. How we doing,
yes,
man?
Sir, you know it.
All right, man. We're going to jump right into this. We got a long segment, and I want to get every inch of it. You hear me? So, Chaz, tell us about you, man. Where you from? What you doing? Tell me about your career. Give us some info on you, bro.
Cool. Well, born and raised for the most part in Kansas, and then, moved into the area around going into 7th grade.
Okay.
But, as you know, for me, basketball has been the whole heart of it.
So
You know what I'm
so
saying?
basketball is you.
That, yeah, you can
That's what's
basically, you mention my name, everyone relates to what?
Basketball.
It's always been
that hooping, that left
Exactly,
over there.
Straight like
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
So, moved here and everything in a new environment. We had moved around a bunch in Kansas for my pops getting, new coaching jobs and everything. And then we finally got out here. We actually were able to kind of lay some roots, and this is home now. for
Okay,
me.
so now you settled in O'Fallon, Missouri.
Yeah.
So what part of Kansas are you guys from? And tell me more about your pops. Tell us their story. He got you playing basketball, and who all in your family all play basketball?
Yeah, so originally from Wichita, that's where I was born. I've spent most of my time there.
Okay.
But moved around, other places, Topeka, Concordia,
Right.
Junction City. And then really, like I said, my pops has been a coach all my life. That's what I knew him as, right? It wasn't just dad, it was always coach.
Okay.
So, and then the same for my brother as well, Zach.
Okay.
And, for me, like I said, basketball has been the big part of my life, but it was like I was, 4, 5, 6, 7, always at my dad's practices, right? I was in 5th grade in Kansas practicing with the JV team.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
Exactly, right? And so, like, when we moved here, my 7th grade year, I was practicing playing with who? The varsity during the
High
summer,
school,
right?
Yeah, no doubt.
And,
Remember the first time you played with us, put up 29, I think you was in 7th grade or 8th grade, we was like, holy shit, well, I thought you played for the Harlem Globetrotters or something. I had never seen no shit like that, but that was awesome.
Yeah. People started calling me Pistol Pete around the area.
Yeah,
I had
buddy.
the long floppy hair at the
the
time and
It
everything.
was like King,
so.
that lefty shooting up.
left.
We was like, what's
Crazy.
going on?
Crazy.
Yeah, so, and I think a lot of that, kind of instilled a lot of confidence in myself
Yeah.
and moving forward, because, like, going into my freshman year, it's like a bunch of people have to, like, establish themselves,
Yeah.
and a lot of seniors and older upperclassmen kind of look down on freshmen sometimes when they step into,
Yeah.
especially a scoring role.
Yes, sir.
Thankfully, we didn't have any seniors with egos with
Yeah.
Wade and Novato.
Yeah, that was a good
You know what I'm
group of
saying?
guys.
Exactly, right? And then on top of that, I had already been playing with them for the last 2 years, practicing for the last 2 years, so they already knew the deal.
Yeah, that was a
right?
good squad we had.
Exactly. So, but, going into all that, what prepared me for high school was not only the hours I played up and practice with the high school team, like I said, 5th grade and up,
Right.
but it was all the years in between, or the hours in between, where I'm in the gym beforehand and the gym after.
So
and that was all stuff my dad instilled in me.
that's my question. So when your pops coached high school, you
Mm-hmm.
would actually be at his practices when you was in Kansas.
Yep. And so like most of like full court drills, anything we did fundamental wise, ball handling, shooting, all that. I'm in all of those drills,
Wow.
competing. And then when they're doing team stuff, I'm over there still doing skill work on the side.
So you doing extra on the side.
Yeah, so I had a very, I look at the way and how good I was as early on, and people would say, man, you're just so natural. Like it just, it just comes to you, right? And I kind of don't like that thought because I'm like, that kind of discredits like how much effort and work I put into this.
Hey.
And if there's one thing that I've learned and understand more than anything now, it's that volume combined with effort negates luck. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again for the people in the back.
Yeah. So if you want to stack the odds in your favor,
Yes.
you have to do more volume. You can kind of brute force your way to being successful if you're just willing to put in so much work.
Okay, that was my next
Yeah,
question.
so
What do you
much
mean by your
work.
volume.
Yeah, but volume, just like the body of work.
Okay.
Right? You're only as good as the body of work behind you.
Okay.
Right? So that's when people say the term stacking days.
Yes.
Right? And I'm gonna go 1 foot forward every single day. Right? You don't climb a mountain quick, right? You have to do it one step at a time.
Yes.
Right? And so this is the same way with the body of work. So your foundation, everything that you lay down before, if you have a crappy foundation and you just try to take those shortcuts,
Yeah.
we all see people that try to do that.
I'm gonna ask you a question because when you shoot and I watch you guys practice, I know. Do you ever just go around and take goofball shots playing around or bad shots if you're a basketball player? Or do you really focus on taking good shots all the time, made shots? What is that answer for that?
Well, the best way to answer that is routine is good, right? Routine and combined with, like I said, stacking days over a long period of time, like that's where you can build discipline.
Yeah.
But if you only ever do that routine, then you will lack some of the creativity that, some people are able to have in their game.
Yeah, makes sense.
So when you say goofball shots, that's all relative based on the person and what type of shots they work on.
So if I'm working on a trick shot and I'm actually working on that shot, that's not a goofball shot.
You
understand what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm
I
talking about
wouldn't.
fooling around. I'm just throwing up shots, not really trying to make shots.
Well, again, right there, it depends on what the intent is behind it.
There we go.
So everything is only predicated on your intent.
Okay.
So if your intent is in there,
Yeah,
you're not consciously active and participating in the
Intentional.
exactly right. Then you're wasting your time.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people are wasting their time. No
I
cap.
guarantee.
Gotta
Quit
move with a
wasting
purpose.
my time.
Gotta
No
move with a
cap.
purpose.
So
To move with
yeah,
purpose.
so if I'm in the gym and I'm getting shots up, but I'm just mindlessly there, and I'm just checking out. Well, I got 100 shots up, right? I was like, okay, great, you've got your 300, 500 makes or shots up, okay. So how did you get into those shots?
Yeah.
What was the intensity behind those shots? Like, did every shot take 5 seconds to take, or were you shooting every one like a game winner? Big difference, right?
Intentional.
On top of that, how many times did you get distracted and I kind of paused for a little bit and
Yeah.
I'm over here and I'm on my phone and whatever, or you get your work done first, right?
Makes sense.
Exactly. So it's like you don't need to spend hours and hours, and like the hours and hours is not dependent on just being in the gym. It's about the quality of work that happens inside that.
Hey, I tell people all the time, it don't take a long time to be great. You got to be consistent. That's one of my things.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna stand by that. And Chaz, let's let the people that don't know you, give them some of your accolades. So you played,
Yeah.
you was all-state basketball player. high school.
Two-time All-State. my freshman year, 18, 19 points a game, and we took our team to 20-8, which is the first district championship in like 20 plus years.
Yeah, Zumwalt North.
Yeah.
Yep.
First winning record even longer. So they won districts with a losing record.
Right, exactly.
Which is crazy. But we get on, and I was a part of a winning record team every single year.
Yeah.
My junior year going into averaging almost 27 points a game, which is a big jump from my first 2 years. And, having the best record at the time, the best record that we had ever had, going up against the big dogs of McClure North and McClure at the time, and playing CBC
Hazelwood,
and
exactly
right,
yeah,
Lutheran North,
yeah. High-powered school,
high-powered dogs.
What year did you come out?
That was I graduated 2014.
Okay.
So it was 2010, 2014, about 10 years ago now, which is
Hold
crazy.
up, so now, not in even that, you scored over 2,500 points in high school.
Just under.
Just
so,
under.
Yeah, 2360.
2,400, 25. I say 25. You can round it up. And a shit ton of assists. Let's talk about your college career.
Yeah.
Where did you play? You played D1,
Yeah.
Division basketball. Mm-hmm. So that way that people understand that we talking to a guy that's done it and been on the next level.
For sure.
And it was all
Yeah.
through hard work, no guessing, being intentional about doing his work. So where'd you play some of your college basketball at?
So I started off at SIU over in Carbondale.
All right, nice.
And after my first year, I decided it was better for me to transfer and go to. This is right around when the transfer portal was starting to get really big.
Yeah.
And then I went to Northern Colorado. I've finished up and graduated there.
Nice.
My last year, we actually won the CIT. So there's 4 postseason tournaments in the NCAA. You got the March Madness, everyone knows about,
Yeah, we
NIT,
talking right
CBI,
Okay.
and then the CIT.
Nice.
And so we were able to, come away and win with that, which is an insane experience, just being able to play all the way through March and end your season on a win.
Yeah,
exactly.
any postseason.
After that year, I had one more year of eligibility, decided to come back home, and then finished up at Maryville.
Nice. So talk about you. Your brother as well played Division I basketball.
Yeah, he
right?
played 4 years at Austin P. His first year,
Nice.
they won their conference tournament, so they were able. They played Kansas first round.
They did.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was blessed enough to be able to be there and watch it because it was in St. Louis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna pull this rabbit out the hat.
yeah.
How many threes you hit your last college game?
Oh, I think it was 8. I think it was a school record. The last college game I had 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many threes your brother hit his last college game?
I think it was was it 8?
I think it was 8.
Yeah.
It was 8 because it kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
The dad called me. I said, "Hell no." I said, them a lot of boys
Yeah.
back at it again.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
So that was just something I had to throw out there, man.
Yeah.
Zach, shout out to Chaz Glotta and his wife and his guy.
Yeah.
And your wife as well.
Yeah.
And so continue. After college, we not done yet. Where'd you go?
No.
Keep talking to
Well,
let me know
so
something.
I had. It was an interesting time.
Yeah.
Because, looking at me, you don't normally see a basketball player.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So, if you said, what does a Division I basketball player look like? What is that?
Hey, 6'5", looking, muscular, got some dreads or something, looking like King Rube a
That's
little bit.
crazy.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Looking like Kingston, baby. Let's go.
So you basically didn't describe me whatsoever.
No, not at all. No.
Like I would have fit in way more within a baseball player or soccer player.
Golf.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something like
something that,
Yeah.
So
But you
if-
flashy for that though. You got the hip hop now. Hey,
I
that's
didn't
razzle
used to.
dazzle.
I did not used to. I had no court swag. High school. You can look
It
it
was
up.
different.
I got the
Yeah.
tan knee sleeves.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
The shorts below the knees. Under Armour shoes before they got hot.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that was
Gang
crazy.
gangs a little bit.
Yeah. So I think Colorado helped me change a little bit.
That's cool.
For the
That's what
better, I would
college
say.
experience
For the
was
better,
good for you.
exactly right.
What you thinking, Ken?
I
What you
guess
think?
Joe got a question about
Yeah, give
the
it up.
difference between your AAU experience back then.
Well, forgot about that.
Yeah, to what you saying now in the AAU circuit.
And tell them who you played for.
Right.
Yeah, so I played for, they're now called BBE, but at the time they're St. Louis Eagles, right? So interesting enough, I was a 14U, so I was in 8th grade at the time, and I tried out for the 15U team, and I missed it. I was like the last cut. I ended up playing 15U with the Majestics at the time, who they had Ben McLemore and some good names and everything out of there. Yeah. Which I think that was really great for my development, just to play at that level. Because I had also made Gateway, but I didn't think that it was going to breed the same type of, it wasn't going to bring a dog out of me that it needed to.
You need to go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly, right.
You got to go to the inner city and get roughed up.
Exactly. So moving from that the next year, I played with the Eagles my 15U year and had a great experience of doing that. It was, just the level of competition of players. Like, I think every single player we had 2 teams. Every single player played, started for their high school team as freshmen. So it was stacked with so much talent. It was honestly, it was crazy. Following that next year, we went to, and then I think we ended up, my bad, backing up, we ended up taking 7th in nationals that year.
NY2LA?
No, so it was the AAU nationals. This is before, or right before the Peach Jam was starting.
Before they started
Exactly.
separating the brands, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that the Peach Jam was like, that was the top dog. So like, that was like the year after Brad had gone and everything. So like that was that top tier of it. But then moving into next season, my 16U year, I got called to Gateway.
Right.
They wanted me to play up with her 17s.
Okay.
And so at the time, I was debating within the 16U Eagles or the 17U Gateway, and it was kind of an inner struggle of like, what should I do? What should I be? They were going to elect me, or they wanted me to play point guard.
Yeah.
I think that was going to be better for my development because with the Eagles, I'm known as a shooter and just a scorer.
Yeah.
Just, if you need offense, get them in, right? So that was really good for my experience. And then that experience right there actually pays dividends later, which I'll get to. All right, so I'll bring that back full circle when we talk about my pro stuff. So my 17U year, I elect to go back to the Eagles, and we make it to the Peach Jam, and in the Peach Jam I had 2 buzzer beaters. So
the one still on YouTube, that half court one.
yeah, exactly. Sick. So versus Team Penny, so we beat Mocan and then Team Penny basically back-to-back nights. So that was it was like back-to-back buzzer beaters into it. So that experience again was just insane. Like, it was just so cool. Like that year, I got a guard and play against Devin Booker, Jalen Brunson. Yeah, exactly. So I'm playing against some dogs here. Exactly, right?
That's the circuit you wanted to be on. I feel like that's why you said you was bouncing in between, because you know who's gonna bring that dog.
Well, exactly.
Gateway was a good program in St. Louis.
It is.
Well, at the time, so I was playing up 17U. So I got 2 years of 17U, right? So I got to experience, like, both of the Adidas Gauntlet and then the EYBL Nike circuit. So I got to kind of experience both. And, the way I saw it was like, if I play in the 17U circuit, coaches are looking to offer kids now.
Right now.
Right? So it's like, then they see this, oh, this kid's playing up. Then that draws attention. You're like,
gotta
oh.
put yourself in a better situation. Yeah, especially.
Exactly. So, thankfully, I was able to keep good relationships with both programs, which, if you know both programs,
it's competitive.
It's competitive, and there's not very, it's not a great relationship between the two.
But that's just AAU basketball.
Exactly. It's all the politics of everything.
Yeah, everybody want to shoot for the big dogs,
exactly.
and that's just common thread.
So now, going back to, AAU now, it's so different because everybody wants exposure without development. So the biggest thing is, like, everyone wants to play a lot of games all the time. And here I struggle with that because I'm somebody who, what did I talk about? The body of work.
Definitely.
You don't get that from games.
You got to put some work on the side.
if you haven't made 100,000 shots, you don't deserve to go out and show your stuff on a circuit. That's just the way my mind works, right? I put in the work and everything, so it's like now I become deserving of that, right?
Sense.
That work is what gives me confidence.
Yes.
Without that work, I would feel like a fraud.
Makes sense.
Now that's me, other people might feel differently, right? They might have, but I would say confidence, but it's not. So the real truth of the matter is confidence without work is delusion.
Wow. That's tough.
Cap.
That's no cap, huh?
So we have too many kids in this day and age who are very delusional and think they deserve everything because and it starts with their parents. It starts with some of the coaches.
Yeah.
Because they're telling them this.
Yeah.
Oh, or you got to play for my team. You'll play every minute, and they tell that to 10 guys.
Yeah, they
it's
do.
like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
And above all else, like, what's the point of AAU anyways?
Right.
Like really?
Put
Trying to
national
get to the next
stage,
level.
and you getting eyes from
Yeah.
different states that you don't see at the crib, traveling.
Yeah.
So,
But,
okay,
yeah,
so
exposure.
so you're saying exposure,
Exposure.
right? So I think until you're a 17U or playing on the 17U circuit, I disagree. I think it's all about development.
I feel like that's what they lost.
Well, see, you wanted to get developed, so you want exposure, so you don't get
Well,
exposed.
you're
though.
gonna be
If you ain't-
exposed.
if you ain't got development. Oh, you know the fact.
Like-
That's the no cap.
So it's like if you can get crossed off the list,
Yeah.
right? That easy is like, I'll just never watch that team again, right? They play terrible brand of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know how to space. They don't know how to cut. They don't
Yes.
know. Like those are simple things that like I remember I went to a team camp or an elite camp at Murray State, and when I just finished my freshman year, so this is going into my sophomore year, and the one thing that they were super impressed was how well I spaced,
Yes.
because that is how everything opens up.
For basketball.
And selfishly, if you want to shoot more shots, learn how to space well.
Hey.
Because that defender's got to make a decision. Am I going to stop this drive or am I going to close out on you? Either way, the person who spaced properly is responsible for creating a positive action for
Instead
you.
of hitting a nail and making one guard two, a two guard one.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
So if your
but
spacing right-
like exactly. So like that's spacing.
Yeah.
And that really doesn't require a ton of like real skill. You just have to understand, some of the game and see it in a different way.
Yes.
It's like everyone talks about, and even all the training I do with my athletes, it's geared a lot towards, what I can do with the ball.
Yeah.
But if we want to break down a game, say we'll go with the 40 minutes of a college game. All right. Say I play, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Say I'm not a primary ball handler. Okay. So now I play 20 minutes. I'm on defense for half that time, we'll say. So at 10 minutes, I'm not a primary ball handler. So how much time do I really have the ball in my hands?
Not many.
Right? That's not, and how many times do I actually have a opportunity that's not running part of the offense to break off and actually do something?
showcase, right.
And showcase, right? Or get in action.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Depending on who you are, you're just a shooter, or you're just a post, or you're
Right.
supposed to move the ball here, get it to our best players. So
That's
they
why
come
it's
down,
only
pin down.
usually normally
Exactly,
it's
right?
only two options, and everybody else are role players. I mean, that's in the NBA
Well,
as well.
exactly, but the whole point is like we do so much and everything. It's like, well, why are we doing all that work? Like, should we do more of just cutting and just off-ball stuff and this whatever? Well, part of it is you have to have the capabilities to do things,
Yeah.
even though you might not ever utilize it, or because you never know when your number's going to get called.
True.
Right? But even to that to that same extent, if you look at how many shots do you think Steph Curry has taken in his life?
1 million.
Right.
It got to be.
Close.
Okay.
I'm
Very,
telling you, I'm
very
not even
close.
Okay, cool,
exaggerating.
cool. So if you want to say 1 million, right? We could go with 500,000, 1 million,
Right.
whatever. That's how many shots he's taken or made. Whatever that number is, right? How many shots has he made?
That's my point earlier. Intentional. Are you making shots or you just throwing up shots? Because I count made shots.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I did too. But so it's like if he's made 1 million shots in his life, and he's the greatest 3-point shooter ever, and he's made less than 5,000.
Wow.
What does that tell you? So he's being graded on a fraction of what he's actually done.
All the work, no cap.
Exactly. So
That's my point.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's a great analogy, man.
yeah. So I mean, you have to look at it into some perspective. So it's like, if for him to be the greatest shooter, he had to shoot 1 million. Hey, guess what? For some people, it might be more.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
The starting line and finish line is different for everybody.
True.
You know what I mean? But again, it's less about what number is it, and it's more about the intent and like how willing you are to put that work in.
Hey, let's jump ahead. How was your pro experience playing? And I got to get to your training company and the things that you
Yeah.
do right now that you're back in this
Yeah.
over here playing. So how was your pro experience?
First of all, it was amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better experience and a better, all the way around.
Holistic.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So I would say it was actually interesting. So let me go back to my coach, right?
Okay.
So I tried to play initially, and again, this goes back to when I was talking about like I didn't really fit the part
Yeah.
as far as like what a basketball player looks like.
Makes sense.
And I didn't end my college career with I had halfway decent stats, but I was on a minutes restriction because I had a stress fracture for
Yeah.
a while. So if you look at a stat line, it brings your numbers down if you're getting 8-10 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Right?
sense, yeah.
So it's like you have 8 games of that, and it's like, well, it didn't matter. I was averaging 20 on the other games.
Right.
On those games, I'm averaging whatever. So now I'm averaging 12 points.
Yeah.
Oh, you're 12 points a game.
Not
Yeah.
ready to score.
Whoa,
Yeah.
you were Division I, now you're Division II. We just can't. And you're an investment for these teams. So
Yeah,
you got to
like
remember
you
that.
just dropped numbers and you got
Exactly,
worse.
right?
Yeah.
It looks like it just got worse over time.
Not
So it's like,
counting
oh,
injury. Yeah.
exactly. Didn't matter the amount of work I was putting in. Like
Exactly.
I went through a stint of time where like I was making 1,000 shots every day during high school or college. I was getting up and doing a 20-minute hill workout, going in, doing a stretcher routine and a core routine, going to the gym, making 1,000 shots, taking an outdoor ball, running a mile with it, going back home, taking a little nap, getting a little something to eat. And then guess what? Now we had our team lift, right? Then we had our individual workouts. Then we had our team workout, and then we would play afterwards. And that's what my summers would look like.
Wow.
So if you want to look at like the body of work and like what it takes and like how dedicated you are to it, it's like who worked harder than me?
Right, you match
like that,
mine.
And again, it wasn't to say, oh, look at me, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let anything tell me I'm not gonna put my all into this.
Makes sense.
Right?
That's what you love.
Exactly. So, fast forward, I'm going in and, it's 2 years I don't play.
Okay.
2018 is when I finished.
Okay.
Right, finished, or 2019 is when a year and a half. So 2019 I finished, and I was going to all these things, these little events,
Trying to
exposure
get on.
events,
Yeah.
trying to get on to something.
Yeah.
Nothing. I had something come up, nothing. And so this was the first time in my life that basketball was not guaranteed.
Makes sense.
The
Since you were a
first time
kid.
since I was a kid, I always knew I was going to play another game. I was
Yeah.
going to play another game. I was going to play another game. My senior year happened. I still had that mindset of I was going to play another game, and then all of a sudden nothing was happening. I was like,
Wow.
I'm never gonna play again. And I didn't leave
That's
basketball.
tough mentally.
I didn't leave basketball on the right foot.
Yeah, that's tough mentally.
So
especially being
yeah,
a-
exactly.
the player that you were,
And
you
so
know?
some people might call it like a depression, or some people might call it something else. I just, I really struggled during that time
And that's
it
normal.
because there was a point in time where I didn't watch basketball. I didn't touch a basketball.
Yeah,
it was
it's
probably
normal.
6-7 months where I just didn't. And then, then I just started to do stuff with it and just kind of play pickup here now and then. And, took it as, that chapter's over.
Yeah.
And so that brings me back to my coach at Gateway.
Yeah.
He gives me a call.
Want to give him a shout out?
Yeah, David Watkins and everything. So
Shout out, Dave.
Dave Watkins, man, I've told him this before, I appreciate him so much for everything.
Good guy, man.
Man, he called me and he was like, I need a point guard. He's like, are you ready? And so I was like, yeah. Like, and like, I just was like, yes. He was like, all
I
right.
got to think about it. Yes.
Yeah. I was like, when you need me? He said, 2 weeks.
Wow.
And
Man,
this
what?
post shows 6-7 months of you not nothing.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
So, exactly. So, you know, it was, so that, those 2 weeks,
Oh, yeah. I know.
I was like, I'm going to be ready.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Now, again, think about the body work before me.
Yeah.
I didn't doubt I couldn't do it.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I've done it before.
Of course.
Right? But I went and pushed myself to my absolute limit to make sure
Gotta go past
that
it.
I would take this. If I never played again, I wanted this to be the best experience of my life.
Of course.
And I didn't want to hang it up with any regrets. Right? So, you know, it's COVID, it's 2020.
Yeah.
You know, we're going into a bubble season, so we're playing. The games are every other day, sometimes a 2 a day, sometimes a 3, like back to back to back.
Wow.
Like we're all, and it's really dope because we got there.
And where did you play at?
I played in Colombia in South America,
Nice.
and at the top league there, and it was really dope. And it was the first year they allowed multiple imports to play.
Okay.
So it used to be 2, so you had up to 4. So you
Okay.
had guys who played, you know, NBA before, G League, like
Wow.
everywhere.
Trying to
Like
get
one dude, he was talking about, you know, he was with the Kings, he was playing against Kobe.
Wow.
You know, like that dude was a dog.
NBA.
That dude was a dog. Dante Green, that man was a dog.
That's what's up.
He's been playing the big 3 too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So he's
definitely a dog.
exactly right. So like you're playing against guys like that in
Okay.
this in this league and everything. And so, going into it, we're having 2 a days,
Wow.
and then a game the next day, and then another 2 a day, and then the game the next day, and
Thank
then
God
the 2
for
a day.
your body of work.
You know, exactly right. And for me, it started off really rough. I hadn't played an organized basketball game in a year and a half or more.
Okay.
So I go in that first game and everything, just gunning. Watching the film afterwards and everything. I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh dear. I was like, I just looked like an amateur,
Okay.
right? Everyone was like, oh my goodness, and you know, but I just stayed to like living in this moment
Okay.
and just enjoying it for what it was, and I didn't get too strung up on I have to perform.
Yeah.
I looked at this as like, I'm just gonna have fun.
Okay.
Right? I'm just gonna enjoy this experience. Basketball's done so much for me.
Yes.
It got me, basically, it's gotten me to where I am today.
Yes.
It is the reason I am where I'm at today. So, and I end up going on a tear and, you know, rookie of the year,
Wow.
20 points a game.
Nice.
I led the league in threes by a mile. You know, I was
Yes.
making 4.5 threes a game at like 45% from 3. And yeah, so, and it actually got me opportunities to go play in like Argentina and La Liga and one of those things, but just timing.
Yeah,
it
makes sense.
It didn't work out because there was a COVID spike there, so the borders got shut down, so there's no more imports. On top of that, you know, I'm about to get revved up to get married the next year.
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
so, you know, for where I was at my stage of my life and everything, I was able to leave basketball on my own free will
and that's
my
a
own volition.
much better feeling to close that
Exactly.
chapter out.
When you can close it yourself
Definitely.
instead of,
Yeah.
you know, fate saying, nope, you're
Because you
done.
knew inside that you had more basketball in your life to play.
I can play right now.
Right. No,
Like that's
sure.
the people. Like I got asked the other day. Are you still playing everything? And people ask me that because they know I can.
Yeah.
I could go play right now.
I know.
I
In
could
them
go.
clothes.
I could go.
in your in your jacket.
I seen him.
you know,
I know you can
know,
play right now.
like I could go. I could go out and go make money playing right now.
Yes.
But for me and what I really want to do, and for what I want to accomplish in life, you know, I understand where, you know, God has kind of guided me
Yes.
and where I'm directed to impact people more.
So that leads me to this question right now. Tell me what you got going on with your business right now. Can I hold this shirt up?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Let me get
you know,
that.
I got a,
See that?
yeah. So I got a, you know, basketball skills training business, CG Hoops. I
Yes, sir.
started in 2022. It's been a grind getting it up and getting it running and stuff like that. especially because I hadn't been around the area for a long time. So it was like, oh, what happened to, oh, I remember, oh, you're doing training, oh, that's cool, you know. So because before that, you know, the last 6 years I've worked as a sports performance coach. Like in the private sector. Much like, you know, you guys have here at Hustle and Heart Performance.
Yes.
So so I've been doing that the last 6 years, and so I think that's really helped me hone my coaching skills and hone how I view and see training as far as like. Because I kind of call myself a movement specialist because I'm so fascinated at specific movements that people replicate, and you know, because movement is how you become a better ball handler, it's how you become a better athlete.
Hey, well, we did see you put up some. I'm not gonna lie, we used to watch you play basketball, and you used to throw that hook shot over the top of your damn head, and we're like, ain't no way it's going in, and it went in every single time. I got used to it. I was like, bucket. Because at first I was like, what the hell is he doing? And you used to challenge him against the big guys too, you know what I mean? So go up, big guy, left hook, pow, pow.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. So I understand what you mean.
Yeah. So
you did that all the time.
Exactly. So, you know, leading forward, I was able to shout out my boss, Brian Fitzmaurice. He owns Fitzmaurice Performance.
Shout out.
He was able to allow me to pursue starting my business while working for him.
Oh, nice.
And so at the time I was full-time, 40 hours a week, plus everything else on top of that.
Oh, wow.
So I'd have an 8-hour day. I get out at 7 p.m. Then I'd train 7:30 to 9:30.
Wow.
Then I started, you know, trying to reach people through social media. So I started recording videos and stuff like that.
Yes.
Just to reach a broader audience, because I have all this knowledge and everything that I just want to give
makes
to
sense,
people,
man.
you know.
Makes
so, but you know, fast forward, you know, now I'm basketball full time, and you know, it's been nothing short of a blessing.
Okay. Well, how can the people reach out to get a hold of you that want to get some basketball training, or how can we get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can visit my website at www.cghoops.net. You can also find me at CG Hoops, basically at anywhere. The O's are zeros though. So Instagram, Facebook, you know, YouTube, TikTok, and and Twitter, or X. My bad.
So it's Chaz under Chaz Glotta on CG Hoops.
Yeah.
Man, King, what you think, man?
Man, I feel like this one of them interviews, like you seeing everything that y'all try to push to the athletes since I got here. Like I transferred in junior year, just like him. But the body of work, dog, I feel like that's what I got most from this interview. Body of work is everything. Like Coach Ann say, 1%, like every day, dog.
Everybody
like you can't shortcut nothing,
No.
and everything will come back tenfold if you're doing it the right way. That's why I respect him as much as, you know, as much as everybody do around this area.
Yeah.
Because we seen it, we all watched it, and it's just crazy. I love what you're doing now, though.
No cap.
Appreciate it.
No
Appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah.
Chaz, you got any questions for myself? Anything? Any want to give a shout out to your people, man? Shout out to Caleb, man, your little brother.
Yeah,
man.
my little brother.
Can't leave
man,
my boy and your
you
family.
know,
Pops.
yeah, he's in Wichita now. He's in Kansas. He's back in Wichita and Kansas and everything.
Nice.
He's doing things up there. You know, my brother Zach, he's doing big things. Starting, you know, he's been coaching the middle school team. He's getting back into that. He's looking to do some AAU stuff as well. And
so basketball
whatever.
Family needed to
exactly.
say.
It's in the blood. It's in the blood. So, you know, my grandmother told my dad he was brainwashing us. So
hey,
I don't know.
Shout out to Coach
you
Glotta,
know, she tried to give me like this tickle me Elmo. And you know what I did?
What?
I shot in a hoop.
No, hey, that's a no cap, baby. No
I'm like 3 years old and I shoot it in a hoop. So it's my dad. It's one of my dad's favorite stories because he's sitting there. He's like, because my grandmother's like, oh yeah, he loves this. I'm taking it out and everything, and it was like a red orange Elmo and everything, right? Right into the hoop.
Chaz, we gonna end it right there with Tickle Me Elmo going in the hoop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love that,
yes,
man.
Sir.
I'm glad to have you on the show, man.
Awesome.
And this gonna be the end of the show because you gotta get up and get that no cap, no cap, no Cap.
Martin Wilder.
No, I ain't playing with him. I ain't playing with him. No, I ain't playing with him. All of my chains got bands in them. I knock them out of my hands in them. No, I ain't playing with him. No, I ain't playing with him. Yeah. These niggas know I ain't playing.